In this session, we'll be taking a look at the multiplicative homomorphic property of RSA algorithm. So we've already discussed about homomorphic encryption. We have seen the failure cryptosystem, which is an partially homomorphic encryption algorithm. And we have taken a numerical example about failure, and we have discussed in depth what is homomorphic encryption and its types. So if you have not gone through those lectures, I'll be leaving a link for that lecture in the description below. Have a look at it. So today we're going to take a look at the multiplicative homomorphic property of RSA. So what is homomorphic encryption? So homomorphic property is nothing but we'll be able to work with ciphertext without decrypting them. Say we have two ciphertext, we can multiply these ciphertext to get some C total, and when you decrypt this C total, this will be equivalent to the result of multiplying the two plain texts together. So this is the RSA multiplicative homomorphic property. So what we are trying to achieve here is when we work with ciphertext, when we directly work with ciphertext, we get the results that are same as we work with plain text. Say if I want to get the results of multiplication of the plain text, I can very well find the multiplication of the ciphertext, and when I decrypt that result will match the multiplication of the plain text. I know it might be very confusing at this stage. Let us take an example and you'll be able to understand it. So what is the multiplicative homomorphic property? What it actually means is, this means that if you multiply two ciphertexts together, as I explained in the previous slide, if you multiply two ciphertexts together, the result when decrypted will be equal to the product of the original plain text. Say here we are going to use RSA algorithm, and then we are going to take two plain texts, say M1 and M2. So using RSA, what we'll do is we'll encrypt M1, we'll get ciphertext C1. We will encrypt M2 and we'll get ciphertext C2. So we'll be using RSA algorithm for this. We have already discussed RSA algorithm in depth. If you're not clear with what RSA algorithm is all about, I'll be leaving the link for that lecture video in the description below. Have a look at it, and that will really help you to understand this lecture further. So RSA algorithm will be used for converting the plain text messages to ciphertext. Next, what we will do is we will multiply these two ciphertexts. Say we are multiplying two ciphertexts, we get a result, say C total. And when decrypted, when you decrypt the C total, again we'll be using RSA for decryption, we'll be getting the result such way that, say this is the result, we call that M final. So the decryption leads to M final. This will actually be equivalent to the multiplication of plain text M1 with M2. So I hope you are able to follow this. This is the multiplicative homomorphic property that RSA algorithm exhibits. So now let us take an example. We'll verify this with a numerical. So here, first thing is I'm going to take two prime numbers, say P to be 3 and Q to be 11. And then we'll compute the value of N. N is nothing but P into Q. This is the RSA algorithm. P into Q is 3 into 11, that is 33. The next thing is you have to compute pi of N, the Euler's torsion function of N. That is nothing but pi of P into pi of Q. What is pi of a prime number? This is purely Euler's torsion function computation. So we have already seen a lecture on this. If you're not clear with this, I'll be leaving the link for that lecture in the description below. Have a look at it. But it's very simple. What is pi of a prime number is nothing but P minus 1. So what is P? 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Likewise, pi of Q. Q is a prime number. So Q minus 1 will be 10. So pi of N is 20. So now we should select the public key E, which is nothing but this E should satisfy this condition. GCD of E comma pi of N should be equivalent to 1. So I am selecting E to be 3 such that 3 comma 20, the GCD is 1. So the value that we have selected here is 3, and the public key which we are publishing here, what is the public key here? The public key is E comma N, that is 3 comma 33. Plain simple RSA algorithm, computation of public key. And what is the private key we are going to select here is the private key value D that I'm selecting here is 7. So what is the condition that D should satisfy is E star D mod N should be equivalent to 1. So here E is 3, D is 7 and N is what? That is P into, that is actually pi of N, I'm sorry. E star D mod pi of N should be equivalent to 1. So this is 20. So 21 mod 20 is equivalent to 1. So the private key that we have selected is 7. The next thing is we need to compute the ciphertext C1 and C2. And for that we need the plain text. We'll take two plain text. M1 is equal to 2 and the next plain text we'll take is M2 is equal to 5. So we are going to take M1 and then we are going to find what is C1. C1 is computed as M1 power E. What is E? The public key, that is 3 mod, what is N? 33. So what is M1? That is 2 power 3 mod 33. So that is 8 mod 33. So C1 is computed as 8. And what is C2? C2 is nothing but M2. M2 power 3 mod 33. So what is 3? 3 is nothing but the value of E. So M2 is 5. 5 power 3 mod 33. So we should compute the value of 5 power 3 mod 33. That is leading to a result 125 mod 33. That is nothing but 26. So we have computed two ciphertext. C1 is equal to 8 and C2 is equal to 26. The next thing that we have to compute is C total. C total is nothing but C1 into C2 mod N. What is C1? 8. C2 is 26 and mod N is 33. So that is actually, what is the value? 26 into 8 is 208 mod 33. So 208 mod 33 is actually 10. What we have computed is C1 into C2 mod N, that is C total. The next thing is we should decrypt C total. We should see what is the value you are getting. So let me go to the next slide. So what is that we have arrived at? We have arrived at C1 to be 8, C2 to be 26, and then we have computed C total, which is nothing but C1 into C2 mod N. What is the value of C total we have arrived at? That is 10. So we have computed C total to be 10. Now we should decrypt C total. What is that we get when you decrypt C total? How will you decrypt C total is we raise C total to the power of the private key mod N. What is the private key value you have selected? D to be 7. So now let us compute. 10 is the value of C total. 10 power 7 mod N 33. So we call this, let's say this value we are decrypting, we call that M final. M final is 10 power 7 mod 33. And what is 10 power 7 mod 33? It is actually 10. So we have computed, we have decrypted C total to get 10. And what is that we have to verify whether the value we have computed is equal to the multiplication of the plain text. So what is M1? M1 is 2. What is M2? M2 is 5. So we get 10. So M final we have arrived at to be equivalent to the multiplication of the plain text. So this is what we have seen in the beginning. What is the homomorphic property is all about? When you multiply the ciphertext, this leads to some value, say C total, and this C total when you decrypt it, you're going to get M final. What is this final result actually implies? This is nothing but this is equivalent to the multiplication of the plain text that we have taken. So we have verified that m final we received it as 10, and that is equivalent to the multiplication of the two plain text 2 into 5. So this is the RSA multiplicative property. What it is, that is, if you multiply two ciphertext together, the result C total when decrypted will be equal to the product of the original plain text. So this falls under partially homomorphic encryption. I hope you're able to follow this. If you have any questions, you can leave those questions in the comment section. I'll be looking at it. That's it for this session. Take care.